From Norris trophies, praise, and leading scoring races, to bad contracts, injuries, and teams wanting him gone. The greatest downfall of an NHL career belongs to Erik Karlsson, and it is currently unfolding before our eyes. During his prime, he was unstoppable, and the other week, rumors like Kyle Dubas would trade him instantly if he had an offer is an absurd collapse. We are going to investigate what made him so dominant in his prime with the Sens, and break down what current struggles lead to Kyle Dubas not wanting him. In 2017, Karlsson was on top of the hockey world. As the Senators captain, he was tearing up the league, finishing up his 7th full season. Over the course of his career up to that point, he led all defensemen in scoring by almost 100 points. He was already a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Norris winner, and a 2-time Norris finalist, 4-time NHL All-Star team, and 4 times leading the NHL defensemen in points. To have a downfall, there needs to be a peak. And for Erik Karlsson, this was it. His prime, 2017, one of the best seasons ever played by a defenseman. Offensively, he was a weapon. Hughes and Makar are elite current defensemen because of their skating abilities. Karlsson, instead, was a super skilled mastermind that patrolled the blue line. He had such a great shot. Whether it was a slap shot, an accurate wrister, or a 1-tee off a pass, he had them all in his bag. He could get his shots through multiple layers of screens and would use his great vision to find guys' sticks for tips or shot passes in the slot. He could also fake his shots to open up more of a different shooting lane or option. On this goal, we're at the point his slap shot is such a threat that he fakes it and frees Fleury, only to find Hoffman for a wide open one-timer. Just filthy. When needed to, he could use his skating in the O-zone. On this play, Karlsson gets across the blue and walks downhill into what only seems to be a shot. But he sees Brassard across the ice and freezes everyone including the goalie, and gives Brassard a wide open net. There are not many people in the world that can do that. His offensive dominance was only intensified on the power play. Penalty killers would sprawl out to block his shots, only for him to change the angle to find a new shot. It was hard to stop this guy. Defense was Karlsson's weakness, as he was often criticized. But in 2017, he was more than serviceable. His style was very different to the average defenseman. We have already covered that this guy is not average. He would leverage his strengths in his good stick and footwork to stop other players. His style is to never trying to be too physical and get into big battles. He's more looking to use his stick to get loose pucks, because when there is a free puck, he is ready to pounce offensively. This style is not always as effective. Because of his lack of physicality, he loses battles in the net front, a dangerous area. On this play, Karlsson is playing his usual style of non-engaged defense. Because he does not have the skill or strength to tie up, Patrick Hornquist just outmuscles Karlsson for a loose puck at the net for a goal. Though, when he isn't in a battle in front of the net, he is sneakily good at breaking up passes or reading where the loose pucks are going to be. When the puck is at the point, most NHL defensemen tie up a forward in front of the net. But, as we have covered, that is not Karlsson's style. So instead of tying up, he needed to get really good at blocking shots in front of the net. He got so good at it that in his prime in 2017, he actually finished 2nd in the league in shot blocks by a defenseman, only behind Chris Russell. If you don't know who Chris Russell is, he was at one point the NHL's leader in shot blocks. Yeah, not bad company. This whole style in his defensive zone was to set up offense for himself or the Sens. He was always looking to join the rush, carry the puck up the ice, or find forwards for a long stretch pass. Yes, creating offense from the D-zone as a defenseman is an unusual strategy, but one that is reserved for someone as offensively gifted as he is. On this play, he wasn't tied up in front of the net, so he needed to block this point shot. He soaks it, and right away, he is able to start the rush. And boy, was he ever good off the rush. Karlsson was not afraid to lead the rush, where he would love to drive the puck hard down the middle of the ice. He could make moves on defenders or use his sweet vision to make some beautiful passes. In the neutral zone, he was so patient and looking to find a forward with speed to get an immediate rush chance. On this play, Karlsson makes a nice exit pass to the winger, and right away he is looking to join the rush as he gets his feet moved. He gets the puck back right away and carries the puck up the ice, taking his time looking for a forward. He ends up taking it all the way into the zone and makes a nice cross-ice pass to his teammate that couldn't handle it, or else it would have been a good chance. Simple plays to the neutral zone like this are what made him so effective, and he would do it constantly. Not to say he couldn't use his hands or be flashy also. Occasionally, his passing didn't work out so well for him, as he could get caught forcing plays and other teams would counter quickly on him. Just like on this play against Pittsburgh, where he tries to find Stone right off the opening faceoff, and instead, seconds later, the puck is in his own net. His positioning was also hard for other teams to defend, as he would join the play in deep in the offensive zone and get open in dangerous places for goals. Karlsson could contribute in so many ways, and it was obvious that he was the best defenseman in the NHL. The Senators' season ended in 2017, 1 goal away from clinching a spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Erik Karlsson was a huge part of their playoff run. And then came the fall-off. The next year, the Senators finished 3rd last in the league. But the problems weren't only on the ice. Karlsson's girlfriend filed a suit against Mike Hoffman's girlfriend, and the situation in the locker room was ruined. Players on the team thought that one of the 2 players had to go. On top of that, Senators owner Eugene Melnyk, who is publicly known for being cheap and poorly running the Senators organization, he didn't want to pay Karlsson. There are a lot of people that hated Melnyk as an owner, and the way that the Karl situation was dealt with hurt Senators fans. Karlsson was due for a contract at the end of the next season, and Melnyk did not want to pay the big ticket that Karlsson was going to cost. Instead, a trade was in order, and Karlsson went en route to San Jose. In San Jose, Karlsson would sign a massive contract, making him the highest paid defender in the NHL. But his time in San Jose was not great. Lots of injury trouble would lead to him playing only 50 games a season in his first 4 years. In his 5th year with San Jose, we would see classic Karlsson, putting up an 100-point season, the first time since 1992, and winning the Norris Trophy. But over his 5 years in a Sharks uniform, they were getting worse and worse, finishing consistently at the bottom of the standings. So, Karlsson wanted out, and Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins picked him up. This was an expensive trade for Pittsburgh, giving up 2 picks and 4 players. But things were looking exciting in Pittsburgh. Crosby, Malkin, and Karlsson running a power play together, that was going to be awesome. Or not so much. The Penguins finished the season 3rd last in power play percentage, with a disturbing 15%. And ironically enough, San Jose's power play was 5% better than the Penguins. For Karlsson, it wasn't a terrible year. He finished 8th in NHL for defenseman scoring, though it was the 2025 season, this year, where his play has been truly abysmal. For a player with so much offensive production, he only needs to be decent defensively to succeed in the NHL. But this year, he has been a flat-out liability. Take the Penguins game the other week against the Flyers as a prime example. First goal, weak pinch by Karlsson, and gets out-muscled. The Flyers get an entry, and the puck ends up in the back of the net. -1 for Karlsson. Then in the second period, the Penguins are defending a rush. But the Penguins have numbers back. Everyone just needs to have a guy. Except for Karlsson. He easily allows the cross-ice pass to his guy for a goal. -2 for Karlsson. Then later in the same period, he tries to pinch up on a play and doesn't get the body or the man. And the Flyers have an odd man rush against for another goal. -3 for Karlsson. Just simply unacceptable. And these occurrences happen often. Watch this absolutely lazy D-zone by Karlsson against the Avs top line in a close game that the Pens were actually playing quite well in. He starts off by floating through the corner, not touching anybody. Then he is the highest guy in the D-zone as a defenseman, not doing anything. Then doesn't scan to see the threat in the slot, continues to glide toward the corner where both Avs are already covered, and leaves the slot wide open for a goal. And there were other plays in this game where he just looked uninspiring and giving up goals on plays he probably would have got a stick on in his prime years. There are so many holes in his game currently. He will try and join the rush in awful times and give up good chances. He defends with brutal gaps that I'm not sure if it's just laziness or bad skill. And he will allow easy chances against, where he shows no effort to work for plays. Just like this one against Winnipeg, where he is cheating to the offensive side and then proceeds to take zero strides to recover on a turnover. And all this has led to his own general manager not even wanting him on his team. The Karlsson project in Pittsburgh has failed miserably, and there will not be very many teams calling up Dubas' phone to take on his $11.5 million contract in the summer. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Erik Karlsson situation. And if you like the breakdown, I'm hoping to post 2 to 3 videos on this channel each week, with team and player breakdowns, so subscribe for the next one.